Okay, let's go.
Every day trader eventually falls into the exact same trap. You see price expanding, assume the trend is holding, and enter the market, only for a massive higher timeframe candlestick to violently pull back against you, leaving a massive sharp wick in its wake. The immediate retail reaction is to try and predict the exact top or bottom of those macro wicks. But guessing where a wick ends is statistically inefficient. It relies entirely on subjective feeling rather than data. To fix this, we have to recognize a core axiom of institutional price delivery. Every single phase of the market, whether it's expanding, retracing, or reversing, must begin and end with a definitive mechanical swing point. We can stop guessing by deconstructing those higher timeframe wicks into their lower timeframe components. By looking inside the wick, we can isolate specific mechanical data signatures that tell us exactly what the algorithm is doing. By mastering how these structural closures actually form, we can execute high-probability continuations based on evidence, abandoning the retail habit of trying to catch falling knives. This animated sequence maps the absolute bedrock of market data, the open, high, low, and close, or OHLC. Every single instance of price delivery strictly adheres to this exact path. A true bullish expansion candle always opens and immediately prints a small wick in the opposite direction. That initial drop is engineered specifically to trap early liquidity. Once those opposing stops are triggered, the algorithmic intent takes over, and the candle expands rapidly upward to form the large main body. Bearish delivery follows the exact same mechanical rule, just inverted. The open prints a small wick to the upside first, before violently expanding lower. Applying this rule reveals the internal structure of macro reversal wicks. They aren't unpredictable anomalies. As this daily candle splits apart, it resolves into a sequence of smaller expansion candles cascading downward. Notice how these internal candles obey the exact same rules. Each one prints a tiny top wick before expanding into a large bearish body. Instead of blindly assuming the macro top is in based on a long wick, we look at these internal lower timeframe sequences to confirm actual shifts in order flow. A volatile wick on a daily chart is nothing more than a structured series of expansions on a 1-hour or 15-minute chart. Price delivery is entirely fractal and completely logical. To capture these structured moves, we use a mechanical 3-candle continuation sequence. This diagram shows how it begins, starting with our baseline anchor, candle 1. The sole function of C1 is to establish the immediate structural price range. Its high and low set the exact extreme boundaries we use to validate the setup. Next comes the manipulation phase. Candle 2 sweeps the extreme boundaries set by C1 before pulling back up. The rule is containment. Its body must close entirely inside the vertical range of C1. If the body of C2 closes completely outside the C1 baseline, the entire sequence is invalidated. The trend has broken, and we step away. But when C2 forms correctly, that long wick does a specific job. It triggers stop losses of panicking retail traders who assume a permanent reversal. A valid C2 closure is a mechanical liquidity trap. It sweeps out opposing stops to fuel the next move, without sacrificing the foundational baseline of the overall trend. A visual C2 closure on a macro chart is a strong signal, but it is not enough evidence to execute a live trade. We require an internal validation trigger known as the change in state of delivery, or CSID. To find it, we push directly inside the C2 candle, down into the microscopic lower timeframe tick data. This line chart represents that internal data. We are looking for a very precise pattern. Price drops sharply to sweep support, then violently snaps back up in a sharp V shape, breaking above its local peak. That V shape proves that institutional order flow aggressively shifted directions exactly during the C2 manipulation.
The rule here is strict. If C2 fails to produce this violent internal V shape on the lower time frame, the macro closure is mathematically invalid. Without the CSID, that long C2 wick on your daily chart is likely just a brief pause before the algorithm initiates a deeper retracement. The internal CSID acts as an objective binary filter. It separates a high-probability continuation setup from random, dangerous market noise. Once C2 is locked in and validated by the internal CSID, we enter the execution phase. As the diagram zooms out, we shift our focus to the third slot, candle 3. C3 is the high-probability trigger. This is the actual expansion phase, where the algorithm delivers the targeted profits. A valid C3 behaves very predictably. It opens, drops slightly to leave a microscopic opposing wick, and immediately expands aggressively in our intended direction, dwarfing the previous candles. Executing your trade on the C3 expansion completely removes the emotional distress of trying to catch the absolute bottom of the C2 manipulation. There is a time constraint to monitor here. You have to evaluate how much time is left in the macro session to ensure C3 actually has the trading volume required to expand fully. If the C2 manipulation burns through too much of the session clock, the setup shifts. The move won't happen on C3, and you will need to wait for a subsequent C4 candle to provide the true expansion. Retail traders constantly bleed capital because they are trying to predict the exact pivot point of a reversal. They trade what they hope to see, not what the data prints. The C1, C3 framework replaces subjective guesswork with a strictly mechanical sequence. You wait for the trap, validate the shift, and extract the order flow. We can't trade the C1, C3 framework in a vacuum. It has to align with macro market context. This chart highlights two critical structural zones, a fair value gap and a distinct swing high. These are macro key levels. For a C1, C3 setup to be viable, the C2 manipulation phase must occur precisely as price interacts with one of these zones. When price hits a key level, it behaves in a binary way. It will either print an immediate aggressive reversal, or it will consolidate. There is a massive misconception among active traders that if price pauses and consolidates at a key level, a massive reversal is building up pressure. The institutional reality is the exact opposite. Consolidation at a key level is a mathematical signature of continuation. Notice how price enters this fair value gap, flattens out into tight overlapping candles, and then aggressively breaks straight through it. If the algorithm actually intended to reverse at that key level, the reaction would have been instantaneous. Hesitation in that zone implies the algorithm is absorbing orders, not rejecting the price. Valid reversals demand instant, violent expansion away from a level. If price consolidates directly at your target, expect it to completely blow through the zone. The entire macro objective of the C1, C3 execution model is simply mapping how liquidity flows from one side of the chart to the other. Price delivery follows a specific mathematical cycle. As this vector shows, price consistently moves from internal range liquidity, like a fair value gap, out toward external range liquidity, like a swing high. The C3 expansion trade leverages this exact cycle. We validate our entry at an internal fair value gap, and we set our target directly at the next external swing high. The goal is never to predict the exact extreme of an external sweep. We wait to identify the C2 closure that confirms the trap, and we execute C3 toward the next internal target. You strictly filter out setups that consolidate at key levels, and you demand the V-shaped CSID validation every single time. By mastering the OHLC fractal structure and mechanically executing the C1, C3 framework, you stop gambling on retail reversals. You adopt a rigorous, data-driven system to systematically extract price.